I'm Andy Campbell, industry analyst here at TractorZoom, and I work with the marketing team. So I get to play with the data here at TractorZoom. I get to use the data that TractorZoom's bringing in, and then I get to shape it and shift it and help our Iron Comps partners answer the questions that they're looking to answer. I get to use the TractorZoom data to help our Iron Comps partners answer some of the questions that they're looking for. So whether it's values or supply, or just general market trends of different equipment categories, I get to dice that data up and kind of tell a story about it to help them do their daily job. I've had the luxury and kind of the honor of being able to take ownership with what I do here at TractorZoom, just because I've been able to work close with the customers. I haven't necessarily been removed one or two people from what they're doing, and so I've gotten to know them as people and really seen what they're facing on a day-to-day basis. And so TractorZoom has just given me the liberty and allowed me the responsibility to help the people that we're working with. My daughter went to school this past year, and when they were asking what parents do and stuff, and she just simply said, my dad is a TractorZoomer, which all the kids are just like, that sounds so cool, and not even knowing what it does. Yeah, it's something that I take a lot of pride in, and when we end up working with a new partner, or when we hold a record-breaking webinar or something, it's one of those things where I go home and excited to tell my family. I even call my dad, and he'll be sitting in a tractor somewhere, and I can share that story with him, but then also how it relates back, and the things that we're doing here to help dealers out, to help ag lenders out, to help farmers out. That's easy to take pride in that. Yeah, so I grew up on a farm up in northern Iowa, a massive metropolis called Rudd, and I still am able to go back and help on the farm. And so I'm helping my dad work through that farming transition right now. And it's just been one of those things where I probably took it for granted while growing up and just being surrounded by it. But then after I moved away and took on different roles in different industries, I realized how special that is to be able to say that I grew up on a farm and now take my kids back and then give them farm chores to do and just still be attached to the land. As I grow up, I just realized that it's just a very unique and beneficial attachment, and one that I love being able to do now what I love here with data at TractorZoom and apply that to where I grew up in a place that I love on the farm. With no responsibilities, usually I'll be grabbing a kayak or a bike and then getting somewhere off-road. And so I've always had just this cheap beat-up kayak that I can throw on the top of my car, and then just going to find some place secluded, throwing it in and going downstream, and then hopefully I can paddle hard enough to get back upstream. And so doing that, and then after I burned enough calories doing all that, finding this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant in a tiny town and figuring out what amazing food they have, sitting down there for an hour, making friends with the locals, and enjoying that. So I make a poor man's mint mocha, and so this is definitely probably giving like TMI here, but taking like a junior's mint, just throwing it in the bottom of a cup, pouring in coffee, and then Fairlife chocolate milk. You take that and you shake it up and just top it off with that, a little bit of half and half, and for, I don't know, like 50 cents, you've got something that tastes really good. 4:30 in the morning is when I'm up, and if I make it past 10, you're not gonna have a coherent conversation with me. Android, I'm a holdout. Appetizers for main course too.